Welcome back, campers, to the next episode of Ghost Storying. I'm psychic medium Amy Shuvard, and these are my stories and my encounters with spirit. This week's episode took place it took place in North Carolina, and it occurred just this past weekend. So let's gather around the virtual campfire and get started. One of the things that I love to do is to be outdoors surrounded by nature. And I love to be in the forest or on the water. Those two things are so soothing for my soul. And I talk to a lot of you guys about meditation, and there's so many things that you can do that don't sound like traditional meditation that puts you in the present, whether that's gardening or working on a craft or a puzzle or walking. Whatever keeps you from thinking about the future, worrying about the past, but just puts you in the present. And trees, oh my gosh, I could go on forever about trees. My camera roll looks like my godson when taking pictures of his dogs, right? There's a million pictures of trees. But as we came up to this particular area, we weren't able to park where we normally do. We were going to go on a different trail way away from where we ended up, and the parking lot was full. We normally park by a specific tree. I know it's weird, but whatever. And when my sister was looking for somewhere to park, I said, go park over by that tree, because I just felt led. And as we sat in the car and I looked forward, I just saw this big opening, a meadow, trees, and then I felt very connected and drawn over to my right, and there was another trailhead that honestly I've never seen. And my sister was like, do you want to go over there? I said, yeah, I just want to see. I'm very drawn to these trees that seem to surround the opening, the beginning to the trailhead. And in fact, we were very much drawn to that area, as we found out. But that's me down here just looking up at the beauty of the trees, and it was so quiet, and you heard all the different noises from the birds and the squirrels. At one point we saw a deer. Well, I saw a deer flash by, and you felt so one with nature, peaceful and alone. But were we really? So as we were walking along, one of the things that I like to do, besides take a million pictures of these beautiful trees, is I love to approach and to put my hand on the tree and to feel the energy, to receive its energy. You know, it's great. I know I've mentioned it a million times probably on this channel, but a great way to clear your aura and to get negative energies transmuted. Anything that you're carrying that you just want to release is to hug a tree. You could put your hand on it too, or you can lean up against it. All those things work. You can ask the tree if you can approach or touch them. You can thank them. And you know, at one point as we were walking through, and we saw cardinals, which are a big sign of spirit for my sister and I. She saw a little elemental. She saw a little fairy flutter. And she was like, you know, did you think? I said, yeah, that's what it was. And I thought to myself, you know, I wonder if other people are noticing. Are they feeling the magic? Are they feeling how much love there is? Because there were people coming often onto the trail on their way to other trails. There was a section where it kind of connects several trails, and some people you could hear coming from a mile away, right? Everybody was doing their thing, enjoying nature in their own way. But we were really just silently taking it all in. And I heard a beautiful thing from one of the tree spirits, and they were like, basically, when you send out love, you receive it back. And it's really that simple. That's what I was told. You know, it's really that simple. We overcomplicate things as human beings. Yeah, it's really that simple. So as we were walking around and having all these different experiences, we saw cardinals, which are our sign of spirit, a big one for both of us. We saw a fairy, and we came across several places where the trees formed a circle, and you could really, really feel the energy that it was quite palatable, something like that. And at this point, I was approached by a young woman that we met in a previous video. I'll link it in the comments because I can't remember the title right now. My head is all up in the clouds. I don't remember if I already told you that my sister is, at least in this video, if I told you, a tree communicator, tree reader. As I know some of you are that follow me as well. And this young woman told me that this was a place that was very sacred to her, where they performed different ceremonies and where she performed different ceremonies. And in fact, I asked her if it was okay to show y'all this area, and she said yes. So I had my sister go into the middle before I told her about my encounter, so she could feel the energy, and then we could talk about it afterwards without her knowing about the ceremonies and how sacred that was to the people who lived there years before. And yes, she could definitely feel the energy, and we later saw another area with really palatable energy. We took a lot of photos while we were there. This is one of my favorites. And when we got home and reviewed our pictures, we usually share some with each other, you know, based on the perspective that you've gotten of the same thing sometimes. And we caught some things on camera. And I want you guys to take a look at it and let me know what you think. I'm going to show you the original photos, and then I'm going to show you still the original photos, but they're going to be blown up, right? And I want you guys to comment on what you think these are photos of. And please, if you haven't already, give a thumbs up to this video and make sure that you comment and hit that subscribe button, because it really helps me out here to keep these things going. So, do you notice anything about this photo? Right here below my finger, and then here and down a little. Take a look at those. And here is the next photo. Do you see it? blue dot right down there. Follow my finger. Take a good look. So here's the very first photo that I showed you, blown up. You can see this over here, these down here. And it's interesting because the first photo, this is my photo. The second photo was my sister's photo. And I didn't even notice this until she said something to me. And then I went through my photos and was like, what is this? Let me know in the comments, what do you think? And here's the second photo, the one that my sister took. And in her original photo, I was like, that looks like a hydrangea. And then when I stretched her photo, this is the result when I made it bigger so that you can see. Run it back, take a look at the original photos, which again, they're all original. 2 are just enlarged. And then look at the enlarged photos. What do you think, guys? I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Ghost Storying. Again, if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button so you'll get notified when new episodes come out. And I can't remember if I included what the trees said. So I'm going to leave you with this. When we were walking through and it was so beautiful and quiet, and we heard people making all kinds of noise, and they were having fun and enjoying nature in their way. This trail intersects several others. And I thought to myself, I wonder if people know how magical it is. Are they receiving the same kind of love? Are they experiencing this? And the tree said that when you put out love, you receive love back. It's really that simple. I'll leave you with that. I love you all. I'll see you next time.